White Sox baseball on CSN Chicago is presented by State Farm. And we are coming to you from Phoenix, Arizona, where this afternoon CSN Chicago presents White Sox baseball. It's Avi Garcia, Todd Frazier, and our Sox as they get set to butt heads with Paul Goldschmidt and the tough Arizona Diamondbacks. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Ken Harrelson with Steve Stone as we get set to bring you the finale of this three-game set, and it will be the finale of this long 10-day road trip. In this series, they won the opener by a score of 5-1. And yesterday, we fell behind, came back, and tried to get back in and win that ball game. We fell short. They won it 5-4. But Jose Abreu yesterday with a milestone home run.
It was indeed that. It was home run number 100, and Jose is starting to heat it up. His batting average is 276, and now he's starting to hit the ball out of the ballpark. So hopefully he was able to get that souvenir, because that's one milestone. He's going to get the other one in the not too distant future, because he's a man going to drive in over 100 runs a year and hit over 30 home runs. I don't think it's any exception this year.
Well, these D-backs can hit. They're hitting 266 as a club, and today they've got a pretty good 3-4 punch.
When you look in the middle, you'll see Paul Goldschmidt. He's a constant, and Chris Owings is a man hitting behind him today. Now we'll take a look at the last 9 games. Goldschmidt hitting .333. He's hit 4 home runs, driven in 9, but he scored 13. That's a big number. Owings on the other side of the equation, hitting .371. What stands out for him is the fact that he swiped 9 bases. These Diamondbacks have swiped 46. It's an aggressive group. Owings is going to be in right field today, and he's one of the guys that will run if he gets the opportunity.
And Jose Quintana on a bump for us.
Last time out, Jose was absolutely brilliant. He went 8 innings. He gave up 1 hit. It's hard to believe that he got a no decision. Well, if you know Jose, it's not, because he leads the world in no decisions. There you look at the splendid 8-inning outing. Struck out 7, walked only 1. On the other side of the equation, Randall Delgado, who has been in the bullpen the last couple of years, is getting an emergency start. Taijuan Walker has a blister, so he's disabled. Delgado in the game. He's only going to go 3, tops 4 today. Let's see if we can get to their bullpen.
All right, finale of this 3-game set, so sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
Sales event ends May 31st. Hurry in today. Toyota, let's go places. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. By Lexus. To in part by Toyota. The Toyota Time Sales event ends May 31st. Hurry in today. Toyota, let's go places. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. By Lexus, who encourages you to experience amazing. And by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Miller Lite, hold true.
Welcome back to Chase Field on a beautiful afternoon for baseball. The finale of the series, the finale of the road trip. And the Diamondbacks take the field, so let's take a look at how Ricky is going to line them up for the game this afternoon. Yolmer Sanchez leading it off and playing second. Then it's Melky Cabrera in left field. Jose Abreu at first. Todd Frazier, who's hit a couple of home runs over the last 8 games. Plus he's driven in 7. Then it's Avi Garcia, who's over his malady, and then Tim Anderson, Leury Garcia, Kevin Smith, and Jose Quintana getting a chance to swing the bat this afternoon. The defense and how they'll line up behind Randall Delgado. It's Descalso, who was put in the lineup late in place of Tomas in left field. Then Blanco and Owings round out the outfield with Lamb, Ahmed, Drury, and Goldschmidt in the infield. Chris Iannetta recently on the disabled list after getting hit in the face behind the plate. And our Lexus Experience amazing starting pitcher is Randall Delgado. This is his first start of the year, his 16th game. He was a very durable reliever last year, one of baseball's best. There you look at some numbers, and because Taijuan Walker could not pitch because of a blister, he is getting an emergency start. So let's take a look at the umpires for the finale this afternoon. Angel Hernandez has the plate. Lance Barksdale at first, John Tumpane at second, and the crew chief Ted Barrett is at third. So this afternoon, because it's going to be 105, the roof is closed for the first time in this series, which means that the park won't be quite as lively, but you can still hit the ball out if you get all of it. So they've thrown the ball around the infield. Delgado ready to go, as are we. It's time to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
All right, Stoney, thank you. And once again, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball right here on CSN Chicago. Before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours as the big 6'4" right-hander's first pitch. Sanchez taken for a strike. Very quickly to count 0-2. And here at Chase Field, 330 down the left field line, 335 down the right field line, 376 in the gaps, and 407 dead away center.
Good fastball running away from Yolmer, and he strikes him out, so he makes quick work of him. And Delgado, now that he's not a starter, has gone right at hitters like all starters before, and he was a starter most of his career. He used to nibble at the corners and change speeds. He doesn't have to do that anymore as a man working out of the pen.
Here's Cabrera, 2 for 8 with a home run in the series. Home run coming last evening. Checks it up. As I mentioned, Delgado, big guy, 6'4", 220 out of Panama.
Last year appeared in 79 games with a 5-2 record.
That is being a workhorse there.
Yep, and that was a guy that is new to the bullpen, but he seems to have taken to it very well. I think like most guys who are working out of the pen after starting in the early parts of a career, he'd probably like to get back to a starting role. Joey Lavulo, and to his left there is longtime great baseball man Ron Gardner. You might remember him as the coach of the Minnesota Twins, the manager of the Minnesota Twins.
Full count. And there's a shot caught. All right, so 2 out. Let's check out our picks to click. Afternoon. Fans going with Anderson. Cruz going with Smith. Steve's going with Frazier. Sheena Quinn, Ray Garcia, Joe Rudi, Julian Bartos, Hannah Sunwald, Ron Vesley, Nick Johnson, Sam Stitch, and Molly Watson. We're going to go with Avi. Talking with Ozzie before the game, he's still not even close to being 100%.
There are some of the guys that caught what Avi had, and they're not the same for the better part of a week to 10 days. So it's not surprising after just one day that he wouldn't be feeling on top of it.
So far, 1-1 to count.
So far, Angel Hernandez is calling the ball down.
Well, so far it looks like if Ionetta catches it, it's a strike. Now, who does that remind you of when the catcher catches the ball? It should have been a strike.
Well, if you're talking about the crafty right-hander in the Hall of Fame, number 22 from the Orioles.
That's him.
But see, what happened?
Great pitcher, but every time the catcher caught the ball, he thought it should be a strike.
Well, yeah, well, that, and I can understand that.
No, you can't.
But the thing that I can't understand is nobody really ever got a hit off him, because Jim used to always say that if the defender was in a different spot, it wouldn't have been a base hit. He was just playing him wrong.
He played policeman more than any pitcher I've ever seen as far as moving traffic around.
He would turn around, face the field, 0.2 seconds short, left and right, and move him around. So he had his own defensive charts. They were his head because he did memorize everything and he knew everything that was going around.
Well,
so.
he only won 20 games 8 times.
That's pretty good.
3-time Cy Young Award winner. Yeah, he and Rico Petrocelli, it's a good thing they didn't play together because Jim would have a big problem. Rico did not like for a pitcher to turn around and tell him to move. Here's a payoff pitch. Foul away. We're playing a game one day. Dick Ellsworth, left-hander, was pitching at Fenway, and Rico was the shortstop. Ellsworth turns around and tells him to move. Rico just looked at him. Ellsworth looked back and turned around again. Move. Innings over. They get into an argument dugout. Dick Williams comes over. He says, "What's going on here?" Rico looks at him and says, "You shut up too."
Well, there you go. Laying down the law.
There's a base hit. So 2 out single, and here's Frazier.
Third baseman.
Jose does love the ball down. He gets a low fastball, and because he's in protection mode, he takes it to center field. It's a good piece of hitting. It's out of the zone, but too close to take. Jose, who's starting to swing it very well. And I'm looking for a big homestand when we come home, and that's seven-game homestand. I think Jose's ready to really break out of it.
Well, an off day tomorrow, and it'll be the Tigers on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, followed by the Red Sox on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
That Tiger series kicks off with a doubleheader.
Yeah.
The makeup of a rain out earlier in the season. So doubleheader starting at 4 o'clock on Friday, and it will go straight through. It's not a split doubleheader.
Todd's the only guy in the lineup that has faced this guy. He's faced him 13 times, has 5 hits, 4 of which stayed in the park.
I would think 65, maybe tops 70 pitches, and that would be extending him. So we'll see he's at 20. Probably be the best thing that our offense could do is try to extend Delgado for a long inning or two to get him out of there and move into the rest of the bullpen.
2 out and 3-1 pitch. Looking for it, got it, and had a rip.
When Delgado was coming up with the Atlanta Braves, he was one of 3 guys that were acclaimed as the starting rotation of the future. And it just didn't seem to work out that way. As so often happens, you can have all the promise in the world, and sometimes it comes to fruition the next ball club or the third ball club you happen to be with.
Payoff. And he got him. Nothing across. It was a hit. There was 1 left after having him play. It's our guys nothing and their guys coming to bat.
Line up his Diamondbacks with finale of the series. It's Blanco leading it off with Ahmed in the 2 spot. Then it's Paul Goldschmidt, Chris Owings, Daniel Descalso, late addition to the lineup, with Drury, Lamb, Ionetta, and Delgado rounding it out. The defense, and on the lineup behind Jose Quintana, coming off his best ball game of the year by far. It's Melky, Leary, and Abisail in the outfield, with Frazier, Anderson, Sanchez, and Abreu in the infield. Kevin Smith once again behind the plate, and our Lexus Experience Amazing starting pitcher is Jose Quintana. 2-5, throwing the ball very well. No decision last time out after going 8 innings, giving up just 1 hit and 1 run in Seattle. So a masterful performance led to the ever-present no decision, but he's looking for some better luck here this afternoon.
61 no decisions.
Pretty amazing.
It is. And plus, on the other side of that page, is run support,
which is almost non-existent.
Well, his last 3 starts, he's had 1 run each game.
And I guess you're going to tell me now that it's hard to win when that happens. Because I'm thinking, you know, hold them to nothing, you get yourself a W.
I'm telling you,
it's really astonishing.
It is.
When you look at his body of work.
Blanco can't get it. He's hitting 242, 2 for 4 in the first game. As I mentioned in the opening, D-backs hitting at 266 as a team. Our guy's hitting 246. That's a hang with him. 1 out.
You love to see that. 2 pitches, 1 out. Hard hit ball, but fortunately, Jose is right there.
So here's the shortstop, Nick Ahmed, hitting it 247. Ahmed did not play in the first game. Played yesterday. Went 0 for 3.
The way he's swinging the bat, if he looks at third, Todd has given him a bunt base hit.
First pitch strike.
There you look at the defense. You got Yolmer playing him up the middle, and Leary in right center. And Jose's got a benefit today, and that is the fact that the roof is closed. We've seen it open the first 2 ball games of the series. It's much more lively here when the roof is open.
Two and 1. D-backs have been tough in this park. They've played 28 games and they've won 20 of them. Yanks that one foul, and evens the count at 2.
One of the things they might want to revisit, because this is a team that's built on speed and power. The defense is a lot better, and they'll be better when Pollock comes back in about a week. But they win games because they can bash the baseball, and they're talking about putting a humidifier, do the same thing with the baseballs they do in Colorado. That would make the baseballs not quite as lively, which would take away the advantage that the Diamondbacks have in this park.
There you go. 2 down.
Ahmed didn't like the call. He thought that it was out of the zone. Angel Hernandez had other ideas, and so he's calling the ball down. And the hitters, if they're observant, and they should be early in the ball game, realize that bottom of the knee is going to be called a strike.
Abreu noticed that and hit a little pitch for the base hit. So here is Goldschmidt hitting at 319, 11 homers, 36 knocked in. Well, baseball is somewhat between a rock and a hard place.
But as far as trying to speed up the games but not make the zone like all outdoors?
No, I'm talking about the ball itself.
Oh, the baseball. Oh, yeah.
I don't think there's any question about it. And you being a former pitcher, when you don't have seams on the ball, which they're almost non-existent, it's wound so tight, which makes it live. When you don't have seams on the ball, guys have to work harder with that elbow and that shoulder to throw a slider or throw a curveball. And that's the left side. Frazier playing it perfectly. Low throw. But a 1-2-3 inning, quick 1-2-3 inning after 1 no score.
by State Farm, and we'd like to welcome all of our viewers watching on Reynolds Cable in Reynolds, Illinois.
So here's Avi. He'll be followed by Anderson and Leary. Getting back to the baseballs, I don't think the humidifier is going to impact the seams whatsoever. But here's the rock in the hard place. Offense puts behinds in seats.
No question.
And if you raise the seams a little bit where the ball is not wound that tight and make it easier on the elbows and the shoulders of the pitchers, you're not going to have as much offense. And there's where the rock in the hard place goes.
You know, I view it as, what kind of team are you going to have? What is the character of your ball club? If you're a straight pitching and defense team, then take some of the life out of the baseball and you have an advantage over the opposition. But if you depend on hitting the ball out of the park, last thing you want to do is even things up with the visiting team who doesn't have the thunder you have in the lineup and give them the advantages you're supposed to have at home.
Well, where the game's going right now is offense is taking over, as he's got evidently a crack in that bat, because the starting pitching has been dissipated so much and is going to continue to be, in my opinion, with injuries. Look at the DLs these guys are going on. I mean, it's incredible.
Every day you read the transaction.
It seems like it every
day you find 1, 2, or 3 pitchers, and a lot of quality pitchers, starters, going on the disabled list for obliques, for blisters, for a number of things, because now with a 10-day disabled list, it's a little easier to miss one start for a pitcher and put him on that DL.
It's just incredible what's going on there. But as I said, on the other side of the page, the offense puts fannies in seats, so they're not going to want to change that whatsoever. Avi with a 1-2 count. Nice little snap right there by Delgado. So 1 out.
You're the 5th infielder when you let the baseball go. Unfortunately for Delgado, who was falling off the mound to the first base side, this one was to the glove side, and he made the catch. So this Diamondback team that used 29 pitchers last year, 29 of them, has got another injury to Taijuan Walker. Although they didn't make a change, they just brought Delgado out of the bullpen.
First pitch strike to Anderson. He's 1 for 8 in the series, hitting at .256, 5 homers. He's driven in 11. And talking with some more scouts before the game, and they are just very, very interested in why our club is hustling so much. I mean, I talked to them the first thing in the first game in this series. They mentioned it yesterday, and then they said, you know, this just is unbelievable what's going on with the White Sox as far as guys. He said other teams are having young players who can run get 5-3, 5-4, 5-5 down the line, and our guys are getting 4-3.
I was going to say, if you're getting 5-3, you might be able to run. You're just not doing it.
Exactly. That's what they were talking about.
No, it helps pressure the defense, and because it all goes into advanced scouting reports. When they see everybody taking that aggressive turn at first, they let the outfielders know you've got to catch it cleanly, get it back in quickly, because these guys will take the extra base. Once you implement that, then you'll find more defensive mistakes than you'd normally find.
Well, you've heard me say it many times, how a team runs to first base can define an organization, not just a ball club, but an organization.
It makes everything look that much better, and there's no downside to it.
Full count.
Three strikeouts for Delgado. That ball borderline. Tim expanded the zone, and he goes down on strikes.
Number 28.
So here's Leury.
Garcia.
2 for 7 with a homer. Homer in game 1.
That was the lone run pushed across against Zach Greinke. That was a rolling breaking ball, and it rolled on out of here.
Oh and 1. Angel calling the high strike as well.
Getaway day zone.
Let me tell you something. That at one time was a huge factor in the strike zone.
But the umpires would tell you.
Swing the bat, Hawk. Swing the bat. Getaway day.
That's it.
But that was before charters. When everybody was flying commercial, especially the umpires. 2 and 1. That evens.
That went off his foot. Minnesota won again today. They're playing really good baseball at 25 and 18. And Jose Barrios, their young right-hander, the #1 pitching prospect in the organization, had a tough year last year. Control wasn't there this year. 3-0 with an ERA of 166. And Minnesota needed somebody to step up behind Santana. And Barrios looks like he's going to be one of those guys. And he's going to do it very well.
That ball hit hard. Stay in the air. Stay in the air. It will. You can. Put it on the board. Yes. Just a bullet. He bow and arrowed that one out of here, and it's a 1-0 Sox lead.
6th home run, 16th driven in. And as far as exit velocity, it was pretty good. Launch angle, this is a line drive. So a Ford home run replay. It's a rocket off the bat of Leury. He got one up and out over the plate. A sinking line drive that sunk when it went over the wall in right field.
So here's Kevin. Kevin takes ball 1. Kevin 1 for 3 in this series. Of course, with that home run by Leury, the Alex Nellius family, another beautiful donation to White Sox charities in loving memory of Ursula. The ball is slicing foul.
We've had some really interesting stories on the ball club this year as some of the young guys have gotten an opportunity. Some of the veteran guys getting an opportunity they wouldn't normally get. And one of the really engaging stories is Leury Garcia. He's swinging the bat from both sides of the plate. He's hitting it with authority, taking it out of the ballpark seemingly twice a week. And with his opportunity and him taking advantage of it, we're going to see a lot more here.
Well, there's one guy that's not a surprise to it. That's A.J. Pierzynski.
Well, he told you that he had all kinds of skills when we traded for him.
Yeah. He said, and this year before I left to come up, he said, tell Jerry, make sure they stay with Leury because he's going to get there. And now it is 1-0 on Leury's home run.
With White Sox checking and an official White Sox MasterCard debit card only available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. Go to wintrust.com/Sox to learn more. Wintrust Community Bank, member FDIC.
Well, there it is, Jose. Go get him, kid.
He got his run. That's what he's averaging over the last 3, so make it stand up.
D-backs, right fielder, number 16, Chris Owings.
So here is the right fielder, Chris Owings, 25 years old. Hitting at .321, 5 homers, 24 knocked in.
He can play all over. Played center field last year when Pollock went down. Last year, .277 overall. This year, he's showing a lot more power, and he can run.
Gap out there, nice gap. Left center. In case you missed yesterday's game, I should say last night's game, it was nice to see Paul Konerko. High pop up, short center. Leury taking charge. 1 out.
In the early going, I just want to know, for you, some of the surprise teams around baseball that you didn't figure would be even in contention at this point, or maybe further down the road.
We're playing one of them right now.
No doubt about that. Yeah, no doubt about that.
And another surprise team for me was Seattle.
You mean being as deficient as they are?
Yeah. Yeah, I thought Seattle was going to be, and it is a good ball club if they're healthy, but you just don't lose your first 4 starters and expect to play winning baseball. I mean, I've never seen that.
No. Well, you can't.
I've seen 3 a lot of times, but I've never seen a team lose their first 4. New York, not a surprise. Baltimore's not. Boston is a bit of a surprise. They're just not hitting the ball.
No, a couple games over 500. You expect that with that lineup that they would be hitting the ball consistently.
Tampa Bay is a bit of a surprise in how well they're playing. They're just 2 games under. Toronto is a big surprise.
On the downside.
Yeah, on the downside, because obviously Donaldson, when Donaldson's not in that lineup, and you take Encarnacion out of there, you miss those 2 guys, you're not going to score a whole bunch.
And Bautista really is a shell of his former self.
Well, he's not going to get any pitches to hit. It's just that simple. And a lot of times people say, well, he doesn't have any protection. But a lot of times you'll see a guy who has 2 guys protecting it, not just 1. And when that happens, that guy is going to have a pretty good year. He's going to get good pitches to hit. He gone. Descalso.
Good tight fastball, throws it right by him. There's no left-hander in the world going to get the head out on that pitch.
Here's a good-looking young player here, Brandon Drury.
There's not much that he can't do, and the converted third baseman is taken to second base nicely.
Well, there was no batting practice today, so I didn't get a chance to watch him, but I did the first 2 days, and he does a lot of good things up there. He and Jake Lamb both. But getting back to the other teams, Minnesota is a surprise. Cleveland, with some of the injuries they've had to their starting pitching, and they're still 4 games over. So with that bullpen they got, unless they lose that bullpen, it's going to be hard to beat the Indians.
Well, Encarnacion is starting to come alive, and he's going to hit the ball because he's always hit the ball, and when he does, that offense is going to be that much tougher, backed by a very solid pen, and Corey Kluber will come back in the not too distant future.
Breaking ball strike. Detroit, not a surprise. Kansas City, a bit of a surprise on the downside.
Well, the bullpen is really shaky.
Yeah.
And for Kansas City, if that's the case, they're going to struggle.
Checks it up.
I think San Francisco is a major disappointment because everybody thought it would be the Dodgers and the Giants going head to head in the division. It's turned out it's Colorado, it's these Diamondbacks, and the Dodgers still a very good team. But San Francisco, with the injuries, especially to Bumgarner, and Hunter Pence is in and out of the lineup, they don't have a lot of thunder, and they're losing their pitching.
Yanks that one foul. Washington's not a surprise. Houston is a bit of a surprise, not a glaring surprise. That's a good ball club, good young ball club. So, and they've got some pretty good pitching. Texas about what you would think. Angels, with the injuries and the bullpen they've got right now, to be 2 games over, not bad. And the schedule they had for the first 43 games. He gone. So that is 6 up, 6 down, 3 strikeouts for Quintana.
Miller time later in the game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
1-0 good guys. Here at the top of the third, Quintana will lead it off for us.
I remember he had a pretty decent swing the few times he's had a chance to hit it.
Not bad.
It wasn't that one, but
that wasn't a bad swing.
No.
I think there are some surprises, big surprises over in the National League. Philadelphia 15-28.
Philadelphia has some really talented young players. That is a system that's pointing straight up. So Andy McPhail has got a lot of talent. The question is, will they trade some of them?
I think Miami is a surprise.
Yeah, I mean they had a lot of injuries.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, a lot of injuries to that team.
Injuries now are becoming more and more prevalent. You don't see in the past, you see sometimes a club get crippled up and it would galvanize them. You're not seeing that. There's a little chopper right side as much today. So 1 out. But you go to the National League Central, Milwaukee certainly is a surprise.
That is a huge surprise, and they can swing the bat.
I think the Cubs are a surprise.
Well, they're going to put it together again, and one of the things for them, and Joe Madden has talked about it a lot, As steady as they were defensively last year, that's how bad they are this year. They're leading the National League in errors, and they're just not getting it done with the gloves.
That's into short left center field, so Yolmer is retired. 2 down. Well, if you can't catch the ball, I don't care how good your pitching is. I don't care how good your hitting is. If you can't catch the ball, you're going to lose.
Well, that's one of the reasons why the Cubs were able to win the World Series last year, because they did pick just about everything, and this year it's been completely opposite of that. But they're only a game and a half back. There's plenty of time, and that is a really talented group.
Yes, it is. First pitch strike to Cabrera.
Pitch number 50 on the way, and we haven't seen any activity yet, so very likely Delgado to go through the 4th. Little trouble in the 1st, a home run in the 2nd, and a minimum so far here in the 3rd.
Over the top. And that's a quick 1-2-3 inning. And it's still 1-0 Sox.
Brought to you by T-Mobile, and it is the Texas Rangers, who've been red hot, hitting over 300 with an 11-2 record the last 13. The runs per game, well, go hand in hand with that high batting average at 6. The ERA has been good. They've made 4 errors, and they had a 10-game winning streak. So with Houston at one point looking like they were going to just wave bye-bye to the rest of the division, the Texas Rangers have cut it to 7 games. Got to get a little closer, because that Houston team is good. Keuchel will come back from the disabled list. He's got a pinched nerve in his neck. McCullers Jr. throwing the ball very well. They've got a solid bullpen, and all things considered, Houston looks like the choice in that division, but the Rangers will have a say-so before it's over.
Here's Jake Lamb. It'll be Lamb, Ionetta, and Delgado, the scheduled hitters. I'll tell you, the club that surprised me a little bit is our club. We have played some good baseball. We just have been outmanned and outgunned, so to speak, by most of the clubs. So, you know, when you're missing, when you don't have Rodon in there, and James Shields has been down, you got 3 guys in the bullpen that have missed like that, and we're still playing good baseball and fun baseball to watch, even, you know, in the games we are losing. When we're behind, they keep coming back. So that to me has been a positive surprise. But when you lose Jones and Petrichka and Zach out there in that bullpen, that's a big hurt.
That's strikeout number 4, and you get some sort of an idea why Lamb, number 1, does not hit in the cleanup spot against left-handers, and 2, has problems with the left-handers as he pulled off this one. You can pretty much tell by that swing that Lamb opening up the right shoulder. When you open up too early, it's like a pitcher. When the hitter opens up too early, no coverage on the outer portion of the plate, and he went down on strikes.
Yeah, in essence, when you lose your 6th, 7th, and 8th inning guy, that's not good.
And 40% of your starting rotation.
Yeah, I mean, that's not good.
I think Rick and his staff, I'm talking about Rick Renteria, had a pretty good idea that they want to set the foundation with the young players that they have, guys that will move forward with a rebuilding process, and they've done a nice job of it so far.
Well, the thing I like too, if you stay with it, it's a nice article by Barry Rosner today I was reading. Evidently, and obviously, I should say, talked to Rick Hahn, and they're going to stay with the plan. And that's very, very important for our fans to know exactly what this club is intending to do, not guessing.
Well, Rick said at the beginning when he articulated that it was going to be a teardown and rebuild, that they were going to see that as far as they could take it. And we're reading about the good young talent in the minor league system. There's going to be some more of it, as Rick still is entertaining, and he said this, he's entertaining offers from everybody. Phone keeps ringing, he keeps listening.
Well, we don't have any Michael Jordans on this club.
No.
So everybody's available.
Yes, we are conspicuously devoid of the Michael Jordans of the world.
Oh, 2. Be gone. So that is 9 up, 9 down for Quintana.
As they go for another win versus FC Dallas. Coverage begins at 7 on CSN with Chicago Fire pregame live. Very excited fan.
Here's Abreu.
Boy, how about some decaf?
Boy, he is getting down, isn't he?
Yeah, a little decaf in that man's future would not hurt.
Abreu single sharply. A low fastball his first trip. Right back through the middle. That ball hitting the gap. Nobody's going to get that one. So, leadoff double.
After scalding a low fastball the first time up, he reached down. He got a low breaking ball this time with a little better results. It's in a bad pitch. It's on the outside corner. He probably wanted it lower than that, but it's just below the knee, and he juices it into left center field. So a promising way to start the fourth inning, trying to get a few add-ons. And to see how patient Magulo is with Delgado, I'm kind of surprised he is still around, but there he is. Let's take advantage.
Here's Tide. The reasons Abreu's been swinging the bat very, very well is he's hitting a lot more with shorter arms. It's amazing how much more hitting zone you have hitting with short arms than when you're extending. Ball popped out. It'd be a pass ball. It may be uncrossed up.
Yeah. And the way that Iannetta went after it, he could very well have been crossed up. If not, it's going to be a fat pass ball anyway. We'll take a look.
He just whiffed on it.
He did, because he actually, the glove was higher than the baseball. So I think he stopped himself from seeing it. Now it's going to the mound. Iannetta was hit in the face with a fastball, went on the 7-day concussion disabled list. He's back now, but it was a gruesome sight.
Well, those concussion issues are growing and growing. And I'll tell you one thing that's not talked about enough is concussions for the umpires. I mean, these guys, they've never been in more peril than they are right now.
No, and they have a lot of whiplash with neck problems, herniated and bulging cervical discs, as you would expect. I mean, they take a beating back there like catchers do.
Well, you've never, at least I haven't ever thought of umpires, except for the last few years. I never thought about umpires being in danger behind the plate. You know, the last few years, yes, they are.
Well, the safest they ever were was when they used the inflated balloon protector. And then when they went to the inside chest protectors, you see McFarland loosening up.
So the walk. And here comes Avi. Avi hit a medium. It's a hard comebacker. It was snapped by Delgado.
Infield's not going to come in. They're looking for 2 to try to stay out of the big inning. They know with the Thunder in this lineup, they're capable of putting some runs up. But Jose Quintana, starting today as he left off in Seattle, giving up nothing.
And there is the 2. But Abreu scores, and it's 2-0. So here's Anderson. He struck out his first trip, and at this point that is an unearned run because of the pass ball.
If you had to give Tim Anderson one tip as far as the offensive aspect of his game, what would it be?
Start having some fun. That ball hit hard. He's got the ability. He's got a good swing. He's got good mechanics. And the last thing he should be thinking about is mechanics. Meanwhile, we score one and it's 2-0 good guy.
Our White Sox insider all season long on CSNChicago.com, presented by The Great Escape. Whether it's pools, patio furniture, hot tubs, or more, escape your everyday. Shop The Great Escape.
2-0 good guys here in the bottom of the fourth inning. 2-3-0 for us. And Quintana has retired the first 9 he has seen. So they go back to the top of the order. Is Gregor Blanco. He had a bullet right to Abreu, leading off the bottom of the first. Abreu gave him a good target.
That was a good solid play by Jose Quintana, because the bunt was a good one. And I'm pretty sure Blanco thought that he was going to beat it out. But Jose, good athlete, got to the ball and got it there just in time.
And a reminder, Sox fans, join us as we welcome back White Sox Braves on homecoming weekend, Friday, May 26th to Sunday, May 28th, when the Sox battle the Tigers. Now, homecoming weekend is being presented by the Village of Bedford Park. So bring your business home to Bedford Park and win big. To get your tickets, visit whitesox.com. Here's Ahmed. Yeah, Bray, you do a good job right there. Gap in left center.
There you look at the defense, and you don't want to throw Ahmed any type of soft breaking ball, because Melky is well off the line, but a huge gap just to the left of center.
Two and one. Down to 5 strikeouts so far, and Nick Ahmed was the first one. I'm just sitting here thinking, I'm waiting with bated breath. I
I just can't wait to see what Archuk's got for us. Middle of the 5th.
Well, he normally has unbelievable investigative skills.
Is that a euphemism for BS?
Yes, he's got a lot of that also.
Archuk. We love Archuk.
I respect the fact that about 20% of the time he's actually live doing it.
Now that is amazing.
Yeah.
I never thought about it in those terms. The ball hit hard. Cancel the post-game show.
That was unusual and a departure from what Jose's been doing, because for whatever reason, as he was starting to deliver the ball, he hesitated. And Ahmed was able to take advantage of it, driving it away from the defense. The defense shifting him as an off-field hitter. He's able to take it down the line and run it into a 2-base hit.
So here's Goldschmidt. He grounded out to Frazier.
Boy, he would be ideal for a mini Countryman player profile. Let's see if we can get to that.
First pitch strike.
And here it is. Our mini Countryman player profile. 4-time All-Star, 2-time Gold Glove winner. The rest out of Texas State University. What a player in every aspect of the game, and he can run.
Probably among the outstanding players in baseball. He is probably, to me, the most under the radar to the public.
There's no doubt about that, because there's nothing he can't do, and yet when they talk about the best, maybe the top 5 first baseman around, he might be mentioned down, but he deserves to be at or near the top.
That ball hit hard. So back-to-back doubles, and it's a 2-1 ball game.
That ball was up in the zone, and Goldschmidt just hammered it. No chance at all for Leury in center field, as Paul drives in his 37th run. Now, Kevin Smith wanted it up high, but this one wasn't as high as Kevin wanted it, and Goldschmidt put a charge into it.
That's his 11th double. So here's Chris Owings. He went out to center field.
Owings has played all 3 outfield positions. He also is a quality shortstop. He'll get a lot of time at shortstop.
And that's the base hit. They're going to cut it off and get him at second. But the game is tied at 2. That's what you get for hitting the cutoff man.
Perfect throws, and they cut down Owings, not before he drives in his 25th run. He takes this one through the right side, inside out swing, and just barely eases it by Yolmer. And a good solid throw. And Jose cuts it off, and they gun him down. Awkward slide. Owings was lucky to come away without hurting himself.
So here's Descalso. Descalso struck out his first trip.
You don't mind seeing Tomas out of the lineup. He was a late scratch. Last year, 7 multi-homer games, the most in the major leagues for Tomas. He's off to a good start this year.
Descalso. Here's what he did in the 4th inning with 2 on Monday.
Got a rolling breaking ball and took it out of the ballpark. It was a 3-0 lead at the time. More than enough for Zach Greinke.
If you missed that game on Monday, that's the least amount of pitches that our hitters have seen in a game all year.
Greinke throwing all strikes.
And good strikes, not just as that is. He gone. But they come up with a pair, and we are tied at 2. Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot. Well, it's here. You can head to whitesox.com/vote. Choose your hashtag ASG-worthy Sox stars and send them to the All-Star Game presented by MasterCard on July 11th, and that's in Miami. So vote today, vote tomorrow. Vote at whitesox.com.
A new pitcher coming in the ball game, and it is Andrew Chafin. Well, he's had a great start to this year. 1.93 ERA. He's on for the 19th time. The 20 strikeouts and just 3 walks in 14 innings is impressive. As you can see, left-handers have hit him a bit better than right-handers. Nobody's hit him very well overall with an opponent's batting average of 192. So the fact that left-handers have hit him better would tell you that there's probably a pretty decent changeup hanging around in there.
That's exactly what it tells you. Here's Leury. Leury got us on the board in the 2nd inning with his 6th home run. Just a bullet out of here.
Delgado went 4, gave up 2 runs, 1 earned on 3 hits, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. So all things considered for Torey Lovullo, Delgado gave him a pretty good effort. Ate up 4 innings that the pen will not have to deal with. And now it's a bullpen game for the Diamondbacks.
2017 Chicago White Sox are presented by Guaranteed Rate. Thinking about buying a home? Well, visit rate.com to find a low mortgage rate and a fast and easy process. Here's Kevin. Takes first pitch strike. Chafin out of Wakeman, Ohio. 26 years old, 6'2", 225 pounds.
First round draft pick, picked in the supplementary first round of 2011, 43rd overall. And there was a time when the Diamondbacks thought he could start, but they realized that for the ball club and for him, he was better served out of the pen. He's had a great beginning to this year.
Well, if he's got the good changeup, and it looks like we saw one there to the Erie, we got a problem. Our club has always had problems against the left-hander with a good changeup. And it's just not our club, it's a lot of clubs.
One of the reasons they like Chafin so much is that as far as Diamondback pitchers, historically, he's got one of the best ERAs here at Chase Field. This is a tough place to pitch because it's very lively. His lifetime ERA here is 2.91.
There's a nice approach. Meanwhile, a terrific catch by Chris. Boy, hit the ground. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a base hit, and I think
the umpire called him out.
But Lance Barksdale, I don't think went out there to get a real good look at this.
So they say he's safe.
Oh, he trapped it easily, and I mean, you watch it again. This ball bounces good 2-3 inches in front of him, and then did a really nice job of stopping the baseball. But the call was out. That's going to be quickly overturned.
Ladies and gentlemen, the previous play is under official video replay review. The call on the field is that the batted ball was caught for an out.
Owings does a nice job of getting there and a nice job of trying to sell it, but that's a no doubter. So base hit for Kevin.
After video replay review, the call was overturned.
He smothers it on the short hop, but to no avail.
There was a good approach though by Kevin on the left-hander. Is lead him arm side.
As he's gotten more playing time, he's hitting the ball with authority now, and he's got big power.
He is swinging the bat well.
Yeah.
His mechanics are good. When your mechanics are good, you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to get back there in that house of demons. Watch out.
You try to jab at it. Not recommended as good technique for laying down a bunt. You have to catch the ball with the bat.
We've seen some awful attempts at bunting on this road trip.
Yes, indeed.
Our club. 0-2 the count. Outfielder short, swung around to the right. So 2 down.
Jose turned back to look at Angel Hernandez, but ball had the whole plate.
Here's Ulmer. He's 0 for 2. A 94-mile-an-hour fastball and a 93-mile-an-hour fastball for the 0-2 count.
Chapin has good movement. Fastball moving a good 3-4 inches late to the right-hand hitters.
Two runs on 4 hits, no errors for our guys. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for their guys. As he strikes out the side. And we're halfway home, tied at 2. So refreshing. I feel refreshed already.
He comes up with some of the liveliest cut-ins that I've ever heard.
I didn't know Shields had a side today.
He did.
I didn't know that he felt good about it.
He felt wonderful.
So here is Brandon Drury, struck out on a curveball.
It's such a different position in every aspect when you move from third to second, because you need first step quickness at third base. At second, you have to have good footwork and mobility to both sides. That's what they worked on with Drury.
Well, he does a lot of good things at the plate.
Yeah, I mean, they love the way he swings the bat, so they were going to find someplace for him to play. But with Lamb at third every day, although they tried Drury in the outfield, he fits much better at second base. And they believe that he's going to be a fairly substantial run producer.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. Ouch.
Jose tries to get it inside.
He does.
Yep, way inside.
Plus, it does not hurt Drury or Chris Owings that they're playing with Goldschmidt. You can watch him. You can learn a lot about playing with a guy like that. Here's Lamb. He struck out his first trip. Yes, sir. You can learn a lot. All you got to do is watch him, and you watch what you do is you watch a guy like that. You watch him in batting practice. You watch him what he does, his routine. You watch him and talk to him about how he thinks. I learned more from hitting behind Yastrzemski when he won the Triple Crown than I did from any hitting coach I ever had.
What was the biggest lesson you took from that '67 season from Yaz?
From him?
Yep.
Well, how he could ratchet it up against great pitching. I mean, to this day, against good pitching, I'd rather have Carl Yastrzemski at the plate to get a hit from my family's life than anybody. That ball deep. So these guys got some good young play. I mean, some good young offensive talent, and it's a 4-2 Arizona lead.
Lamb is now driven in 40. That was his 13th home run. Ford home run replay. It's a fastball. It was on the inner portion of the plate, and Lamb got most of it. Taking it over Melky's head, just like that, to hit batsman, the home run. It's a 2-run deficit.
That shot you just saw, there was a Dave Maggott in there, a very fine hitting coach. We were talking about Lamb and Drury the other day, and he's very high on both of them. And it's easy to see why.
There's Dave Maggott. He was a good hitter. Didn't have a whole lot of power. Contact hitter.
And a big guy.
Yeah.
Tim Laker is his assistant hitting coach. Tim was with us for a long time. 1-2 the count. Dianetta.
Using that face shield after taking one in the grill.
He gone.
Let's take a look at why he wound up on the concussion disabled list. That got him square in the lips. Yikes. He had both front teeth pushed back. And that one got him square. Yet he's back. As soon as he was able to come off the list, he did.
So here's Peralta. That was an ugly shot.
Here's another good-looking young player.
Goes with that one, pokes it out there in the left field for the base hit.
Good piece of hitting by Peralta as he stays with a breaking ball. The problem for Q here is that it stayed up. Little looper into left field. And still only one out here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Here's Blanco. He's 0 for 2. Curveball. That evens count at 1. So 2 in, 1 out, 1 on, 1-1 to count here in the bottom of the 5th inning if you're just tuning in. 4-2 Arizona.
Well, very close at first, and he had Peralta leaning the wrong way. If that throw is lower, he's going to get him out. But because the throw was a bit higher, he's able to get in under the tag. Jose fooled him on the move. It almost got him.
Gap in right center. Too much time.
This has been the tendency for Jose for whatever reason, and it's kind of hard to figure out, but he sails right along, then goes into the stretch where there's some difficulties and slows it way down.
Frazier even with a bag off the line at third.
Outfield playing as an off-field hitter. There you see the gap in right center. The infield pretty much straight away.
Breaking ball strike. 2-2. Just foul.
First baseman has to be careful how far he comes off the bag with a left-hand hitter. And this one just behind him. And fortunately, that one missed by an eyelash, because that's 2 bases.
Two different rhythms.
Yeah, this one pretty hard for him to keep his rhythm working this slowly.
That's trouble. So that's the first double, first extra base hit for Blanco.
Most surprising is the fact that it's been 3 left-handers that have done the job here in the 5th inning. And left-handers usually don't fare very well against Jose, but Don Cooper now coming out. Runners at second and third. And Jose in a jam, already down 2. Well, if Ahmed can bunt, and that remains to be seen, the best play here is push a bunt right at Yolmer at second base. You got a left-hander, falls off the mound to the third base side. A push bunt scores the run, moves the trailer, in this case Blanco, into third base, and you get a run batted in for Ahmed. So let's see what Torey Lovullo has in mind with the infield in at the corners.
Ahmed has struck out and he has doubled. 1-0 the count. That's into center field, and that's going to score 2 more. That's hard. It's hard. And that has been his MO. That's evidently something in Jose's DNA, that he's just got 2 different rhythms. And when he gets guys on the base paths, that's not a good rhythm. It's a bad rhythm. And when he's from the wind-up, that's a good rhythm.
That's been amazing. As good as he's been, and he's been very good over the last 4 years.
Oh, yeah.
This is one aspect of his game that is easily correctable. That is something that apparently he feels comfortable doing, except when you have great rhythm and you're not giving up any hits, you should figure out that that is the rhythm you want to keep even when you are giving up a couple of hits.
First pitch strike to Goldschmidt. Don't make no mistake about it, though. This Arizona coach can swing the bat.
They knew that coming in.
266 team average, not too shabby. They've got 67 home runs,
46 stolen bases. You don't find many combinations of power and speed these days. You get an either or.
Well, you stick Yasmani Tomas in that lineup to go along with the guy at the plate now, and go along with Chris Owings, Brandon Drury, Jake Lim. That pitcher's got his work cut out for him.
We had another guy that's coming back, and that's A.J. Pollock, and this lineup top to bottom becomes very dangerous because Pollock is their best base stealer. He's their best defender in the outfield. And his presence,
he can hit.
Well, he can really hit, but his presence makes his team a lot better. And most amazing part about last year, he broke his elbow toward the end of spring training, and the team was just never the same. Without him in there, they had to mix and match in the outfield, and it was a horrific outfield defense. But they've added a couple of defenders out there, and now they can catch the ball even with Pollock out. When he comes back, they'll be that much better.
Once again, taking too much time.
And a little more time. So this is an opportunity to tell you that new general manager Mike Hazen, who came over from Boston, was with Cleveland for a long time before that. And one of the things he's trying to do in reconfiguring his ball club, when he adds a player, he wants to add a combination of an offensive player with some speed.
Well, it's great if you can do it.
Yeah, it is.
There he goes. Third stolen base for Ahmed.
From one knee. Tries to get it there, makes it a lot closer than it appeared it was going to be, but still not in time.
I remember when sabermetrics first came out. It was taboo to steal a base. No stolen bases. No running.
No bunts.
Among other things.
Yeah.
All those changed. Goldschmidt making a perfect approach. 5th hit of the inning.
Four hits in a row, and as Jose has really slowed it down, the Diamondbacks have really speeded it up. And Goldschmidt with 2 hits today, that is going to be it for Jose. He will not survive the 5th. So sailing right along through 3, and then things got a little dicey in the 4th, and they've got downright dangerous here in the 5th. So that's it for Jose. Anthony Swarzak is going to come in. He's got a 4-run deficit. He'll try to stop the bleeding, and as he walks out, we'll step out and be back after these messages.
Take on the Tigers on Saturday, May 27th at 1:10. First 20,000 fans will receive a White Sox photo book presented by CSN. You can take a look back at the Sox in the 90s with images featuring all-time greats like the Big Hurt Frank Thomas, Tim Raines, Bo Jackson, and more. So get your tickets by visiting whitesox.com or calling 866-SOX-GAME.
Our Hyundai call to the pen is one of the hottest relievers in all of baseball. That's Anthony Swarzak on for the 17th time. He's 2-0. His ERA 137. 22 strikeouts and 19 2/3. Only 2 walks. When opponents hitting 113, you're not walking anybody. You're probably going to get a few people out.
So here's Chris Owings. He's 1 for 2. RBI single. Only 1 to count.
Keep a close eye at first as Goldschmidt is a very good base stealer. Goldie has 11 stolen bags, been caught only twice. Diamondbacks 1 for 1 today, stealing their 47th of the year.
Oh, 2 the count.
Dave McKay, the first base coach, having a word with Goldschmidt. Normally the 0-2 pitch a good pitch to run because you figure there's going to be a waste pitch.
He wasted it, but we got a man there. And that'll score the run. It's 7-2.
Second run batted into the game. 26th of the year for Owings, who has moved up into the 4th spot against a left-handed starter as Lamb was pushed down to the 7th spot. So we'll take a look at the 0-2 pitch, which is a slider that Anthony wanted this one low and away off the plate, down and out of the zone. He didn't get it there, and Owings got the job done. Needed a fly ball, and he got it.
That's Castle. That ball hit hard. So 2 out runners at the corners. All the teams we've seen this year. Detroit, Minnesota, Cleveland, Yankees, Kansas City, Angels, Mariners. These guys got the best looking young hitters of any team I've seen.
They do have that. Now that starting pitching can come together if Walker gets over the blister problem and Greinke continues to do what he's done. They get a chance to be there most of the season.
And if you're just tuning in, these have not been all mistakes that these guys are hitting. They're hitting some good pitches. Very seldom you see young hitters, not hitter, but hitters on a team that are hitting some pretty good pitches hard. You usually find one guy maybe who can do it, young guy, but not 4 or 5 like these guys got.
I just love the combination of speed and power they have up and down the lineup.
That ball hit hard. Ball is not caught. So another run's going to score. And they got him. Beautiful throw by Avi. Hopefully he's okay. Anyway, they put a big crooked number up on that board, a 6th spot, and they lead it 8-2.
White Sox Talk podcast. Did the Sox hit a home run with the addition of Luis Robert? Chuck Garfien and Ryan McGuffey take a closer look at who he is, what he does, and all those other things. Subscribe to White Sox Talk podcast today.
And that name is not pronounced Robert or Robert. It's Robert, as Steve just said.
And we've got a new pitcher coming in, Tom Wilhelmsen, former closer of the Mariners, on for the 22nd time. He has rediscovered that good curveball. It used to be just outstanding in nose-to-toes variety, and seemingly he's got it back.
Well, he there for a while in Seattle. He had a snapdragon.
Yeah. When he was a closer, because of his size, he'd come straight over the top, and it was unhittable. And then, like most guys who throw a whole lot of innings, especially out of the closer and setup role, he eventually lost that good breaking ball and moved around a bit after that.
Strike. Count evens at 1. Cabrera has lined hard to second, and he is grounded to short.
That one bounced over the Diamondbacks dugout. Everybody appears to be okay. Blackhawk fan amongst a lot of White Sox fans, and there are a lot of them in attendance. Jose's having a big day. A chance to improve on it.
There's a line drive base hit.
Wilhelmsen tries to throw this curveball a little too hard, and consequently he doesn't get any break on it. Curve is a rotation pitch. A spin pitch, not a velocity pitch. You can throw it harder, but you better get good spin on it, and that one just came up rolling upstairs, and Melky took it the opposite way.
Abreu. Hard single, hard double. Eight, 10-0 for them. 2-5-0 for us.
One gets away, most likely it'll be a wild pitch.
So Cabrera in the second.
Wilhelmsen 6'6", at around 2 1/4. Had a couple of years with Seattle where he threw it real well as a closer. 29 saves in 2012, 24 saves in 2013, and then he moved on to Texas before coming back to Seattle, where he had a decent year last year. Now finds himself toiling out of the Diamondbacks pen.
Two-0 pitch.
Wilhelmsen out of Tucson, just down the road, was a bartender at the Hut, which was a tiki bar, as opposed to Tiki Barber.
Three and one. Don't help him out. We need some base runners. It's high and deep into right center field. Stretch. You can put it on the board. Yeah. He is swinging that lumber. Man.
That's home run number 10. He's now driven in 26. And he is a triple shy of the cycle through 5+ innings. A forward home run replay. He gets a fastball on the inner part of the plate, takes it out to one of the deeper parts of the ballpark as Blanco runs out of room. And that went in the pool area.
So here is Todd. Todd 0 for 1 with a walk. Well, what he's doing lately, too, is he's taking advantage of the counts. He's seeing pitches, a lot of pitches, and he's taking advantage of the 2-0, 3-1s.
And he's not really expanding that strike zone all that often, which goes hand in hand with starting to feel a whole lot better.
No question. And his recognition is one of the things that tells you he's not thinking about mechanics. Because if you are, your recognition is not that good.
Well, we talked before he came up with that single in the first inning about how things will start to pick up for him, because he looks as good as he's looked at any time in a Sox uniform over the last 10 days or so, maybe 2 weeks to 10 days.
And there is another walk for Frazier. Here comes Mike Butcher. (8-4) D-backs on top, but our guys will not quit.
No, they haven't quit one time this year, and they're showing you here that they have no intention of starting that today. So a tough day for Jose Quintana, who went 4 1/3, gave up 8 runs on 8 hits, didn't walk anybody, and fanned 7. But a long way to go in a very lively park. He had a chance to come back in a bullpen that is less than overwhelming a good portion of the time.
And a reminder, the Young Professionals Council is hosting a 2nd annual stand-up with the Sox comedy event on June 8th at Zany's in Old Town. And Pat McGinn, comedian Pat McGinn, well, he's back, and you're going to have a good time with that guy. He's back to host the show with all proceeds benefiting White Sox charities. So get your tickets, whitesox.com/SoxComedy. Pat McGinn, he's a keeper. As here is Avi. Avi 0 for 2. And he's got the catbird seat at 2-0.
No activity in the Diamondbacks bullpen, but you would expect if he does not get Avi, they're going to get somebody ready in a hurry. Delgado started. It's a day for the bullpen. Delgado went 4. Chafin went 1.
Well, 2 down.
That's the toughest part of the transition from either a third baseman, shortstop to a second baseman, because the play is behind you. So when Drury comes across, at first he doesn't know just how close Frazier's going to be. And once you get the hang of the play behind you and coming across the back to protect yourself, then the transition gets a lot smoother.
So here's Anderson. A little quick off the end of the bat.
Base hit, E4.
That's what it's going to be.
This one cued off the end of the bat, and Drury does a nice job of catching it bare hand, but he doesn't get a good grip on it, and that's why that one went into the dugout.
So here's Leury. He's 1 for 2, a home run, that coming back in the second inning, his 6th of the season. And it was a bullet hit out of here. Gap out there in right center. Count evens at 1. Light him up right here, Brewery.
Big run to pick up in scoring position with the speed of Anderson. He should score very easily.
And the count goes Leury's way. 2-1.
This is borderline, but it did have a piece of the plate.
Watch out.
The curveball today for Wilhelmsen is not near as good as it's been all year. He's rolling a whole lot of them and leaving them up. Michael Inoa loosening up in the pen.
Two in, 1 on, 2 out, 2-2 the count. Watch out.
Good solid throw to second base as Ahmed on the daylight play goes behind Anderson, and they come close but wasn't there in time.
And the count goes full. If you're just joining us, we scored 1 in the second, 1 in the fourth, led it 2-0. They tied it with 2 in the fourth and added 6 in the fifth. We picked up 2 here on the home run by Abreu. And that'll retire the side, but we get back in it as this is the reason why.
Presented by Ozinga. And it's Nicky Delmonico. We were talking about him in this series. He's really swinging it. Last 2 games, 3 for 9, 3 home runs, 5 driven in. The slugging percentage fairly otherworldly. It's Nicky Delmonico making his presence felt in an organization that has a lot of young players. He showed us in spring training he could swing the bat, and nothing that's happened during this season has dissuaded us from that opinion.
Well, I like the way he plays as far as his presence at the plate. He's got an edge, it looks like. You know, I love guys. Those guys got a chance. As here's Jake Lamb. Jake 1 for 2, a 2-run homer.
The most difficult thing for guys who fall into the characteristics of Delmonico as far as what's going to happen when he gets to the major leagues is you play every day in the minor leagues, you groove your stroke, playing every day, getting 4 or 5 at bats, things are a little bit better for you.
High pop up. 1 out.
But what happens when you come to the major leagues and you're not able to play every day, or you're a swing guy, or you use as a pinch hitter late, you have to find a way to get that feeling you had in the minor leagues when you were getting consistent at bats. So some guys can do it, and some guys just can't. But
That's well put, Steve. That's what happens to a lot of young hitters. They have that edge in the minor leagues. They get up here, and there's a little awe factor, so to speak. You know, a little unsettling type thing, and that edge dissipates. Now the guys who can maintain it, as you just said, I think they're few and far between.
Well, as a guy, if you're going to swing the bat from the left side, if you can hit off the bench, you will find a spot in the major leagues and probably stay there for quite some time.
Yep.
You don't have many of those guys.
Chris Iannetta. Chris 0 for 2.
Diamondbacks pen is Jorge De La Rosa. Jorge had some problems in that ball game last night, putting together a good year, but last night, 1/3 of an inning, gave up a couple of hits, just 1 run. But if it wasn't for J.J. Hoover, been a whole lot more runs scored in that inning. Iannetta came up with the Rockies, and he was always known as a guy that was not going to hit for a big average, but will hit the ball out of the ballpark. Hit 18 and 16 home runs respectively in 08 and 09.
Full count. It's always a big hurt about that. When he was scuffling a little bit. He asked me what's wrong. I said, Frankie Block, you don't have your edge. You don't have your edge. Get your edge back. Get upset up there a little bit. I said, you're a much, much better hitter when you got an edge on. Boy, when he had an edge on, you couldn't get him out.
He got upset when they kept on going 4 or 5 inches inside.
Oh yeah. Well, I used to warn them to throw him inside to upset him. As there is ball 4. And a reminder: Family Sundays feature tickets as low as $5 in the upper level, $15 on the lower level, and parking for only $10. Plus, special kid-focused activities located throughout the ballpark. So, Family Sundays are proudly presented by Coca-Cola. Visit WhiteSox.com/Sundays to get your tickets today.
Chris Herman getting in at bat. He started the ball game last night. hit an opposite field solo home run to lead off the second inning. Herman actually one of the few catchers that can play center field or either the corners in the outfield, which you don't see very often. Probably the most amazing transition for a catcher who won a Gold Glove was Craig Biggio, who went to second base and won a Gold Glove there and then went to center field. Didn't win a Gold Glove in center field, but played it remarkably well.
That was a good pitch, and he didn't get it.
This has a piece of the plate. Puts it right in Kevin's glove, but not get the benefit of the call from Angel Hernandez.
That's in the left center field. So 2 out. Now they go back to the top of the order with Gregor Blanco. Gregor's 1 for 3, a double and a run scored. Big gap out there in right center. Huge gap.
Anthony threw him a slow breaking ball on the first pitch, which is something with his defense you don't want to do a whole lot of. That's the one pitch he can get out in front of.
Oh, 0-2. That's high. Fury, and it'll do it. We're into the 7th. We need 4 to tie.
Boys host the Tigers for a straight doubleheader. Game 1 coverage begins at 3:30 with White Sox pregame live, or stream the games on the NBC Sports app or at csnchicago.com. We've got a new pitcher in the ball game. Jorge De La Rosa, who struggled last night in his brief 1/3 of an inning of work. But overall, he's had a very good season. Just struggling with location in last night's ball game. There you look at the numbers. On for the 19th time, and he's been pretty impressive.
We need some base runners.
Leading off for Chicago, catcher Kevin Smith.
Here's Kevin. He's 1 for 2. Had a single in the 5th inning. Matt Davidson on deck. Ate him up. Long way to go. And that's going to fall. So there's a little Kansas City special.
As hard as Kevin has hit the ball into some tough luck, he drops that one just inside the line and gets his second base hit. So he's starting to hit it well. And that's just a base hit that you need if you're going to go on a prolonged hot streak. No chance for anybody as Owings comes over. And it's a promising way to start the 7th.
There's Matt. Gap out there in left center. So the 34-year-old veteran southpaw delivers, and the count 2-0. Boy, he has a large resume, De La Rosa.
He was a very good pitcher for the Rockies in a tough place to pitch.
(16-9) for Colorado back in 2009.
He's won over 100 major league games. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, you do that, you're a pretty good pitcher. And there, that boy. That's the way to do it for left-hander. So back-to-back singles. We got something going. Won't stop now, boys.
Second baseman, Yolmer Sanchez.
Low fastball. Matt takes it the other way. Little pinch base hit.
And here's Yolmer. He's due. He's 0 for 3. Yanks that one out in front of him.
Breaks his bat, it sounded like. Pass along best wishes on a speedy recovery to a good doctor, Jack Ruby, recovering from a couple of successful surgeries. Hope to see him back at the ballpark.
Ditto. The 0-1 pitch. And now it's 0-2. A little high, a little wide.
Diamondback bullpen continues to work as for the second ball game in a row, De La Rosa has come on and run into immediate problems. J.J. Hoover throwing into pen.
Ball is fired out of play right side. Get the man in second, so 1 out.
That's an aware play by Lamb, knowing that Davidson doesn't have real good speed, and knowing if you get the force at second, you're not going to complete the double play anyway, but you keep the double play in order by taking the man in the middle.
So here is Cabrera, 1 for 3. Led off last inning with a single. Came around to score on a home run by Abreu, who was on deck.
Melky faced De La Rosa last night, and he had a base hit. So Abreu, who homered off De La Rosa last night, following up with a walk to Frazier and then the Melky base hit. That was in the 8th inning to start it off, where Jorge threw just a third of an inning.
Good chance that Abreu will not see De La Rosa. 0-2. Side, going to get the out at first. Run scores, and it's an 8-5 ball game.
RBI number 21 for Melky. He was in protection mode, just wanting a little contact. That's what he got. And so, as Hawk prophesized, it's going to be Hoover to face Abreu, not De La Rosa. So Jorge walks out. We'll step out. Be back after these messages.
2017 returns with fast-paced pick-up-and-play MLB action, packed with all your favorite MLB teams, players, ballparks, and much, much more. So get RBI Baseball today for Xbox, PlayStation 4, and mobile devices, and you can learn more at rbigame.com.
Our Hyundai call to the pen is J.J. Hoover, who was on for 2/3 of an inning last night with a couple of strikeouts. There you look at the numbers. They've been very good. On for the 20th time, 23 strikeouts in 15 2/3. He inherits one runner in scoring position, and he inherits a 3-run lead. The Sox getting a little closer.
And a man with 3 hits, a single, a double, and a 2-run homer.
Split a gap and hustle into third base. Hit for the cycle. That's exciting.
Your what hurts?
Well, he could do that. You ever hit for the cycle?
Yeah, a couple times.
It's great.
In the minor leagues.
Oh, it's still great. It's tough to do, boy, combining all those.
I know one thing. You're tired after the game. On that run to third.
I would think so, yeah.
Pick him up right here. All right. There it is. Here he comes, and it's an 8-6 ball game. Ricky's boys will not quit. They just will not pack it in.
That's 3 driven in for Jose, giving him 27. 4 hits today, a triple shy of the cycle as he gets a slider, stays right with it. Boy, that was a great illustration of not opening up too soon. A guy who is swinging it well, seeing it well, and even though this ball is probably borderline for a strike, he was able to get a good part of the bat on it and take it right back through the middle.
Now one swing and we're tied. I tell you, as I said earlier, this has been one of the things about me that has surprised me in a very positive way about our club. They just won't quit. I mean, they just will not even come close to packing it in.
Well, it makes for an exciting team if the fans believe, because the team does believe, that they're in each and every game. They were 6 runs down today, seemingly left for dead. Now it's a 2-run game. Let's take a look at StatCast, powered by AWS. It's Todd Frazier. This is last night. Exit velocity 106.9. The launch angle, it's a line drive, only 26 degrees. At 416 feet, opposite field home run. Todd is a very strong man.
We haven't even come close to seeing his long ball to right center yet. He's got huge power.
Yes, he does.
Huge. Breaking ball, didn't it? Yeah, if Ty would hit 8 to 10 home runs to right center, he'd wind up with 40. Because that would mean he's staying on the ball. Meanwhile, we pick up a pair. We're right back in this Wago.
who reminds you to have some fun. Plan your trip today at travelwisconsin.com. Off day tomorrow, and then the Tigers come to town, followed by the Red Sox. A doubleheader on Friday, then the series continues. Red Sox for their only trip of the year to town. 3-game series starting Monday afternoon. Look at a new pitcher coming in the ball game, and it is Tommy Kahnle, who's gotten everything over the plate, on for the 19th time. 159 ERA, 31 strikeouts, just 17 innings of work. He's given up just 10 hits. Control has been letter perfect. He's got 4 walks only. He's always had the big fastball. And when you can throw triple digits, as he can, now you just have to get the straight change over the plate, which he has all season long. So now it's a 2-run game. And it's up to Tommy Kahnle to keep it there and turn it over to the offense.
Here's Nick Ahmed. 2 for 3, 2 RBIs and a run scored. First pitch strike. Second pitch strike. Very quickly. 0-2. He gone. '97.
Up and way out of the zone. That's where Kevin wants it. And that's where Tommy throws it. He just overpowers him. A tardy swing. And nobody in this game is going to catch up to the ball up there at 97.
Only one guy that could. Frank Hondo. Because that was just belt high to him.
He could very well be. He was enormous.
Oh, yeah. Did he do it? Yes! What a play! What a play by Yomer! First!
Well, it didn't hurt that Goldschmidt was going up the line, but Goldschmidt runs okay. Not great, but pretty good. Great play by Yomer. Full out dive and then guns it across. He gets him easily. I mean, this isn't even a close play at first base.
He's
Big
just
effort.
getting better and better and better.
Boy, that was a dandy. That's one of the better plays this year.
Yeah, it is. It is fun to watch these youngsters grow. Wow. So here's Chris Owings. Owings takes first pitch strike. I love to watch good young players grow.
Yomer has gotten on this straight up plane for performance in every aspect of the game.
Well, he knows how to play. He knows the game. He's got tremendous baseball IQ. He gone. And let's take another look at this play by Yomer.
Now at eclicklending.com. eClick is located in Chicagoland and is rated A+ by the Better Business Bureau. eClick Lending. Boom! Your mortgage just happened.
Here's Avi. It'll be Avi, Anderson, and Leary. Start us off right here. He's still under the weather. Not feeling very good, but playing anyway. Eight 10-1 for them. 6-10-0 for us.
Hoover must be deceptive. Only that the fastball has been 92 to 94, yet in both of the games last night and today, he's thrown it by hitters in the strike zone with a fastball that's not in the upper echelon.
Well, the two to Avi right here, and both of 92. So there is got to be some deception there someplace. That one at 93. Feels slightly to the right. Good rip.
That was a good slider in an almost perfect spot, and Avi was able to stay alive.
Lays off that one. Well, one of the categories that you don't want to be in as a hitter is a hard, high, slow, low. He's taking himself out of that category. That's out of play right side. 18,002 in attendance.
Hoover had one very big year with Cincinnati out of their bullpen, 67 appearances in 2015, an 8-2 record, an ERA just under 3, which in that ballpark is somewhat miraculous.
Full count. Yeah, you
Great American.
carry a 3 in the Great American Ballpark. You're doing some chunking.
That is the new launching pad.
And the payoff. And Sox fans, you win with Papa John's Pizza all season long. Because the day after the Sox win, you get 50% off your entire online order of regular menu priced items only at papajohns.com. When you use promo code SOXWIN, that is valid at participating Papa John's locations. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. First pitch strike, Anderson. 1 for 3, had an infield single in the 6th inning.
A.J. Hoover was one of the building blocks in a newly revamped bullpen. The bullpen last year was absolutely atrocious, and Mike Hazen, coming over from Boston, knew that that was the place he would have to pretty much tear down and revamp. He's done that, and the Diamondbacks, third in the National League in pitching, much improved out of the pen.
That's up high. And that's out of play. Well, you know, as we were talking about earlier, one of the reasons I like this ball club is because, take it for an example on this trip. We've only been out of 2 ball games. One of them we were out of. We scored 8 runs, so we got beat 12-8. The other night, Granky, we're never in that ball game. We're never going to get in that ball game. It's just that simple. The rest of them, we've been in every one of them, every ball game. And just think back on the last road trip. We're in all the games. We're not beating ourselves. That's what I love about this thing. We're not beating. We're getting beat, but we're not beating ourselves.
That's the first step.
It is the first step.
Let the other team make more mistakes than you, and eventually, when the talent gets here, and that's it. Tim Anderson not very happy at Lance Barksdale.
I'm glad to see him so low. Zaz right there.
Could have gone either way, and it went Hoover's way, so it's 2 up, 2 strikeouts.
That's 3 in a row Hoover has punched out. And here's Leury, 1 for 3, a home run. Yeah, there you can just tell, as you mentioned, something in there, somewhere in that motion is deception. Because he's just not throwing that hard, and our guys are having trouble picking it up.
Maybe that little dip behind his back as he curls. It used to be called a wrapper. He doesn't quite have that 100%, but
yeah, he's not a wrapper.
But he keeps the ball behind him long enough so that you're not seeing it out of his hand right away.
That's the reason when I'm watching a game on TV, I don't watch the ball. I watch the Hoover. They'll tell you what kind of stuff the guy's got.
Well, Hoover throws a lot of his fastballs upstairs, and if you take an average 92-mile-an-hour fastball, upstairs looks like 95, downstairs looks like 89, and hitters have a much easier time dropping the head on a low fastball than a high fastball.
Well, you got gravity working for them. And when you're swinging anywhere from a 32 to 35 ounce bat, gravity helps a little bit.
That would normally be a very hittable fastball, but because he wasn't seeing it quite as well, he fouled it off.
You know, a lot of pitchers don't understand how much easier it is to hit a low fastball at say 95 than it is a high fastball. A lot of guys don't understand. They're starting to, because you're starting to see more guys pitch up now.
Well, the 95 upstairs is 98, downstairs 92. Same pitch, same velocity. It's just, to the hitter, it's much quicker upstairs.
Well, I think one reason being too is the aluminum bat. Aluminum bat at the high school and college level now is changing a lot of things
that used to be.
Yeah.
Well, until they change that bat, because now it's like a composite bat, and it's taken some of the liveliness out. But before they changed it, when it was a straight aluminum bat, I mean, the College World Series, you were seeing 40 runs scored in a ball game.
What scared me was I was always afraid somebody might get killed.
Well, a pitcher doesn't really care how far the ball goes. You give up a home run, you give it up. Whether it's 440 or 410, doesn't make a difference. But it's the velocity coming back at you that makes a big difference.
That's in last. Boy. And they'll bring up Kevin. Come on, Kevin, dial it up and run another one right here, buddy.
Well, we highlighted Leary before the ball game. He was in the open because of what he's been doing lately. He's getting at bats very similar to that last at bat. That was a battling at bat that he wound up winning, and that's going to cause a delay for the moment. As Mike Butcher, longtime pitching coach, they really enjoy him here in Arizona. He comes out to talk with Hoover. Leary spoiled a lot of good pitches, and then he got a slider, and this one had the whole plate. So not trying to overswing, because with 2 strikes he's more in a defensive mode than he would have been had that been a 2-0 or 3-1 pitch. But he's able to just drop it into left field, and Angel Hernandez trying to break up the meeting at the mound. There is the closer, Fernando Rodney. He's a closer who's been very effective, but the ERA is way up there. Save situations, he's only blown 2, and he had one in last night's game.
Took that pitch nicely. 1-0 the count. Kevin with a couple of hits. He's 2 for 3 today.
David Robertson, who could certainly use an inning of work, loosening up in the pen. I like what Kevin did. He left his shoulder there, and if that ball was going to hit him, well, he would have gladly taken first base. But somehow he was able to avoid it without a great deal of movement. He's thinking maybe I can get the elbow out there, but got to work on the execution. It's tough to work on getting hit by a pitch.
Well, he took one for the club the other day.
Yeah, he did.
Three and 1. Not too much time.
Tyler Saladino in the on-deck circle.
Helped him out.
He swung at 2 pitches outside out of the zone. Otherwise, he's standing at first base.
Once again, the payoff. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th, trailing by 2.
And David Robertson comes in. He's got a 2-run deficit to preserve, and he's got the middle of the order to face on for the 15th time. The ERA at 2.81. 5 of 6 in save opportunities. Hasn't had that many opportunities lately. So you got to get him an inning of work, especially before the off day tomorrow and the twin bill on Friday.
So here's Descalso. Well, our Chuck in between innings, there's a discrepancy on the pronunciation of Robert's
we've heard
name.
it.
We've heard it was Robert, R-O-B-B-E-R.
Right. And some people at first said it was Robert, and other people said it was Robert. And
Yeah.
you know, I guess if we call him Luis, we'll probably be safe.
Well, you can call him. I'm not gonna go there.
Well, yeah.
But no, our Chuck said that some of the agents were calling him Robert with a T. So we'll find out. The 1-1 pitch.
Omar has taken over behind the plate.
Yes, he did. He gone.
Robertson curveball this year has just been magnificent from the start of this season until this one. Getting to the point where guys can't hit it, they can't check up their swing, and more times than not, he throws it for a strike early and then throws it in the dirt as the wipeout pitch. And Narvaez did a nice job of blocking it.
Well, he's back.
Yeah, he's got really good stuff right now.
I'm surprised that, to a degree, that somebody hadn't really made a hard run at him. With all the guys around baseball, the bullpens needing, a lot of them really need some help.
There's a lot of teams that desperately need a closer. The question being, they want to hang around a little bit longer to see if they're going to be in it or out of it before they give up what they're going to have to give up to get David Robertson or any suitable closer. I mean, there's rumors that Melanson from San Francisco is available, as the Giants having a tough time of it, losing their ace Bumgarner, and so they've had a disappointing year, and they signed Melanson for 3 years.
Yanks that one foul. Does Drury. Good looking young player. He's 24 years old. Two-two pitch. He gone. 2 down.
That was a fastball, and for Drury, who hasn't seen a lot of Robertson, he doesn't realize that there's a little cutting action on that fastball. So 2 up, 2 strikeouts. I got to face a very dangerous Jake Lamb.
He is that. He's 1 for 3, 2-run homer. Coming in the 5th inning. They have 8 runs on 10 hits. We have 6 runs on 11 hits.
Yomer is way back there in the outfield.
Look at the play. Look at that play, would you? What a beautiful play Wow. By Abreu. Take another look as we go to break. Ball was scalded.
Miller Time brought to you by Miller Lite, and here's our Miller Moments, and it's a day in the life of Jose Abreu, and what a day it's been. That was the base hit in the first inning. Then a double in the fourth inning, and he later scored. Then a 2-run homer. And to cap off the 4-for-4, base hit up the middle. He's driven in 3. What a day. Got a career high with those 4 hits. Our Miller Moments. We got a new pitcher coming in the ball game. It is their closer, Fernando Rodney, on for the 19th time. 1-2 is ERA, 7.5. But for closers, 11 of 13 in save opportunities. He had a very difficult April. Nothing went right. He was giving up all of the runs you're seeing for a 7.56 ERA. But as soon as the calendar rolled from April to May, he started getting better and better. And right now he's thrown it well. He's always had a great straight change.
So here we go. Omar will lead it off. Takes that 94-mile-an-hour fastball for a ball. Omar played in the first game, went 2 for 3.
He was one of the few guys to be able to solve Zach Greinke.
So Fuente's in center. Blanco moves to the left.
No better way to start the 9th inning than a leadoff walk. Rodney can certainly do that.
That ball hit hard to left field. But they got a man there.
Second baseman, Yolmer Sanchez.
Unfortunately, the roof is not open because that ball was hit hard enough. If the roof is open, it's got a chance. Roof not open, about 10 feet shorter on fly balls.
Yolmer takes first pitch strike. That one at 95. Here's a man 40 years old, still throwing 95.
Without that straight change, though, 95 doesn't do him a lot of good. But with that straight change, it looks awfully good.
Well, I'll tell you what, at 40 years old, still 95. That's quite an accomplishment.
I think it's the hat tilt. It's made him effective. He wears it like lefties usually wear it, like CC Sabathia wears it, only tilted to the other side.
Two on one to count.
Umps in the stands wanted those last two, but they haven't been strikes.
Won't help him out. That's in the center field. And that's a can of corn for Fuentes. 2 down.
Milwaukee'd love to get aboard and keep it alive for Jose Abreu in search of his 5th hit. And just maybe the tying run.
One and one to count. Sox trying to prevent a 3-7 road trip.
Good Seattle series, but sandwiched in between a couple of tough series in Anaheim and here.
Well, again, we played pretty good baseball. We just have come up short. And there it is, the ball 4. Tying run comes to the plate.
Jose faced Fernando Rodney last night, representing the final out, grounded to second base to end a 1-2-3-9. Looking for a different result here this afternoon.
First pitch strike. And at 95, he singled in the first, doubled in the fourth, homered in the 6th. Another single in the 7th. Count evens.
Nice stop by Iannetta.
Got his average up to 293.
This is a big stop, and he didn't get a glove on it. Looked like he got his bare hand on it. Big stop because it keeps the force out in order on a play in the hole.
Big pitch here, the 1-1. And this ball game, in this series, in this road trip is over. So the Sox, we get swept in Anaheim. We went 3 out of 4 in Seattle. Come in here. And with the exception of 2 games on this 10-game road trip, we were in every one of them.
They fell to a Diamondback team who has been outstanding here at Chase Field. 21-8 they are at home, and unfortunately heading home with a couple of sweeps on this road trip. They're getting prepared for the doubleheader, so we will see you on the plane.
All right, so for my partner Steve Stone, our Hall of Fame director Jim Angio, our producer Keon Novashaki, our associate producer, the mayor, me, Joe Blue. Also the executive producer Jim Corno Jr., our technical manager Mark Harper, and Michelle Duplante Godwin. Thanks for doing a great job once again, Michelle. Also for Steve in the truck. And for Trent Hines and Deb Ashburn, the Hawk. So long, everybody. Coming up next, the Subaru Postgame Live. You've been watching White Sox baseball.